Hello and welcome everyone back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here from Alumni Field. We are just about set to go for game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader between the Michigan Wolverines and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Michigan took number 1 with a commanding victory, 11-1, run ruling the Golden Flashes in 5. They're going to look to keep that going here as we head into game number 2. Kent State will be the first due up. And it'll be Megan Beaubien in the circle for the Michigan Wolverines to get things going. Leading off, the shortstop, it's number 8, Whitmore. And here we go. Whitmore, a .222 hitter on the season, swings at pitch number 1 and dribbles it backwards into the net. As the sun continues to set and it gets colder and colder, Whitmore has elected to go with the long sleeve warm-up shirt over top of her jersey, and I can't blame her. The feels-like temperature in Ann Arbor now closing in on 30 degrees. The 0-1 pitch from the left-hander, Beaubien's hit right back at her. It gets past, tough throw across the diamond, and making the play is the shortstop, Ella McVeigh. What a recovery off the tip off the glove from Beaubien, and that's out number 1. Fantastic adjustment there from McVeigh to come over and field it cleanly. Rifles it across the diamond, and what a stretch from the first baseman Kiki Thole for out number 1. So an exciting start in the first at-bat, and that'll bring up Jade Raymer. First pitch to Raymer is high and outside. Raymer, the first Golden Flash to get a hit back in game number 1. A nice hard shot up the middle against Alex Storako, and that one of only 2 they had in that contest. The 1-0 changeup from Beaubien rides a little bit high in the zone and floats to make the count now 2-0. Beaubien taking a deep breath, checking that wristband on the right hand, and now going to the windup on 2-0. Infield playing up as well as the outfield. That one just missing below the knees, and it'll be a 3-0 count now. We saw Alex Storako in game number 1, and what an impressive outing from her it was. A complete game, 13 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits and 1 run. As Beaubien puts that one right down Broadway for called strike 1 to make the count now 3-1. Kent State's lone run coming from a solo shot off the bat of Madison Hirschberger back in game number 1. Beaubien's 3-1 pitch is fouled backwards into the net, and now she's even this one back out. It's a full count with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the first inning. Again, corners playing up, a little bit of a defensive change so far. Taylor Bump over at third base. Ella McVeigh at shortstop. That one same as it was last game, but Kaylee Rodriguez getting the start at second as Beaubien rings her up on the changeup on the outside half. That was saying, Bump over at third, McVeigh at shortstop. That the same as well as the outfield. Blair, Burkhart, and LeClaire left to right back there. That consistently the same as last game, as well as Hannah Carson behind the plate, but at second base and first base, it's Kaylee Rodriguez and Kiki Thole getting the starts. First pitch from Beaubien to the 3-hitter Savannah Wing with 2 outs is fouled towards the left-hand side into the net. Wing back in game number 1, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But still a very good hitter in this Golden Flashes lineup. .367 on the year. The 0-1 pitch rides a little bit inside for ball number 1. Everyone back to their normal depth here. Blair and Thole, Bump and Thole on the corners playing pretty much even with the bags. Middle of the infield has retreated back towards the outer half of the dirt. The 1-1 skips up into the glove of Hannah Carson, and Savannah Wing out in front now. It's Cole, the senior, over on deck. Also sporting that long-sleeve warm-up shirt, just as Whitmore did before. Beaubien checks the wristband, now goes to the windup on 2-1. The delivery, missing high, and now Savannah Wing has a 3-1 hitter's count. Kent State in the blue tops with the white pinstripe pants as well as the navy blue socks. Michigan blue bottoms with the white jerseys. 3-1 pitch from Beaubien. Misses upstairs, and that's going to be the first base runner of game number 2 for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Beaubien walks one there. And as I mentioned, first base runner of this ball game for Kent State, looking for more offensive production than they had back in game number 1. Again, only 1 run on 2 hits for the Golden Flashes earlier today at 4 o'clock. Beaubien's first pitch with 2 outs towards Cole is hit right towards the Michigan dugout and thrown back in by Kiki Thole. Cole back in game number 1, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So looking for redemption here against the Wolverines. 0-1 pitch, catches the inside of the zone for called strike 2, and now Beaubien way out in front. 2 outs and 1 runner on. It's Wing over at first base who just works that walk, but Madison Cole, as I mentioned, down in that 0-2 hole. The 0-2 from Beaubien, check swing, but it missed upstairs for ball number 1. The lights now doing some work here at Alumni Field as the sun almost completely set now. Michigan baseball practice has wrapped up in the outfield over there. Check swing on 1-2, again missing upstairs, and we're evened out. Beaubien takes her time, heads to the back of the circle. That same routine, consistency, the name of the game for Megan Beaubien. 2-2 pitch on the way towards Cole. This one hit right back down into her foot. She's going to take a second to walk that one off. The wind has died down, but as I mentioned, the sun setting has dropped the temperatures here in Ann Arbor. Getting colder by the minute, but the Wolverine faithful not phased at all. Still packing the stands here. Beaubien nods yes to the sign, now set to deliver on 2-2. 2 outs. Change up, got her to go. Great pitch there by Megan Beaubien. Cole was way out in front of it and couldn't do anything but throw a half-hearted attempt at a swing. And we're headed to the bottom of the first inning. 2 strikeouts for Megan Beaubien, only allowing 1 base runner. And that's going to send Michigan out on the offensive attack. It'll be Lexi Blair due up first. Blair in game number 1, 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a 2-run home run to right center field. That scored both her and Taylor Bump. But it'll be Blair in leadoff spot, followed by Melina Livingston. Hitting third is Christina Burkhart, a red-hot bat in this Michigan lineup. In the cleanup spot, it's Hannah Carson, followed by Kiki Thole batting 5th, getting the starting nod after blasting a 3-run home run to dead center field back in game number 1. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, it'll go Taylor Bump, Kaylee Rodriguez, Audrey LeClaire, and Ella McVeigh rounding out the lineup once more. In the circle for the Kent State Golden Flashes, it's going to be number 28, Andrea Scowley. Scowley, a right-handed pitcher, a 2.33 ERA so far on this season. He's given up 21 hits in 24 innings pitched, yet to notch a win on her record so far this season. And boy, what a first one it would be against a very good ranked Michigan team at number 19 in the nation. Throwdown comes and looks like we're just about set to go. It'll be Lexi Blair to take her spot in that left-hand side. Michigan, after taking game number 1 by that commanding victory that I talked about before, has now won 9 of their last 11 games. Only 2 losses coming both to ranked teams, to number, at the time, 19 Duke, and then shortly after to number 10 Kentucky. And here we go. Lexi Blair steps into the circle. A .316 hitter on the season. First pitch is high and outside for ball number 1. So far this year, Blair, 18 hits, 4 of them doubles, a home run as well on her resume. 1-0 pitch, hit hard on a line towards right field, and that one's going to drop down for a single and bounce up into the glove of Cole. Not much she could do there besides keeping it in front. And Michigan has a base runner on here early. You want to talk about just textbook hitting. That is as good as it gets from Lexi Blair. Didn't try to do too much with it, just put the ball where it wanted to go. And she's got a leadoff single. That'll bring up Melina Livingston. Livingston last game, 0 for 2, but did plenty of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Reached on error twice, the first of which a ground ball that made its way off the right leg of the second baseman, Robison. And as Robison was chasing that ball towards center field, Livingston picking up on it and taking second base for free. So Scowley struggling with control here in at-bat number 2. She's down in a 2-1 hole here as Livingston steps back in. Christina Burkhart over on deck. Scowley's 2-1 pitch. Check swing, it's not going to matter, and that'll be a 2-2 count now. As I mentioned, a .389 hitter in Livingston, hitting .400 on the year with runners on base. 1-2 count to her. That one high and outside. And now it evens out 2-2. Livingston sits in that right-handed batter's box. Not the biggest frame, but situates herself way up near the front, just causing discomfort in the pitchers. Again, Livingston only 5'2", but has the power. This one popped up, and it will make its way foul over the heads of the Kent State dugout. Lands on top of the M-Den trailer. Will stay 2-2. Livingston not going down without a fight. Good wheels on first base and Lexi Blair. A single could score. This one hit hard down the line, but it's going to go foul. Tracking it down in left field is Raymer. Defensively, the left side of the field for Kent State has been incredible today. Whitmore, Fisk in the infield, as well as Raymer in left, have pretty much been as good as they come. The right side has struggled a bit. Cole had an error back in game number 1. As Livingston swings on the 2-2, and it's going to be called strike 3 as the throwdown went to second base as Lexi Blair got a little bit greedy, but she makes it safely back to first. So with 1 out and 1 runner on, that'll bring up Christina Burkhart. As I was saying, the right side of the defensive field for Kent State has been less than stellar. Cole had the error that led to Lexi Blair taking extra bases in game number 1, as well as Robison had a few struggles early. First pitch to Christina Burkhart is going to be swung on and missed. That one just a protective swing to protect the runner Blair. She takes second base for free. No throwdown comes. It's now a beautiful position to be in if you're Michigan. 1 out and a runner in scoring position with Christina Burkhart, arguably your best hitter up at the plate. 19 RBIs so far this season. As the 0-1 pitch comes, it's a changeup, missing low and away. Third base umpire from last game, Antonio Flores, has moved behind home plate. Flores and Brian Smith have swapped spots. The 1-1 from Scowley. This one way high Young doing a nice job popping up to keep Blair honest over there at second. Scowley, the redshirt senior from Parma, Ohio, spins the ball on the right hand, now set to deliver the 2-1. That one just missing outside. It'll be a 3-1 hitters count here for Burkhart. We talked about it time and time again, but the discipline of these Michigan hitters has been a huge part of their success this season. Laying off the ones that are close. They know what they can do with the zone, just waiting for a pitch to drive. 3-1 to Burkhart. Hit on the ground towards first base. It's going to bounce off the glove of the first baseman. Wing, and taking third base in a hard round before heading back is Lexi Blair, and they're going to say it went foul. That one was about as close as they come. Wing had to jump over first base to get to that ball. But Burkhart will step back up. She's got a full count now. Runner on second base and 1 out. Change up low and in the dirt. It's not going to matter as it bounces into the glove of Young. And Burkhart will take first base for free. So now 1 out, 2 runners on, one of them in scoring position, and that's going to bring up Hannah Carson. Carson got things opened up for Michigan back in game number 1. A line drive to the left fielder was enough to score Lexi Blair as she tagged back in the first. Looking to do something similar here. Watch as that one go by. A called strike. Looks like it hit the outside corner up near the letters of Hannah Carson. 0-1 count. Carson gets up and crowds the plate. 2 runners on and 1 out. This one hit hard on the ground over towards the second baseman. There's 1 out. Throw over towards first is wild. Lexi Blair rounding third, and she's going to take home on the wild throw. Play over at second base, and they got Carson trying to take the extra. But that one will count. Is that one not a force? So Michigan tried to get a little bit greedy following the bad throw to first base, but they're able to put one up in the bottom of the first inning. Strange little turn of events there, but Kent State avoids most of the damage as we head to the top of the second. Michigan up 1-0. If you're just tuning in, we'd like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here on YouTube. If you enjoy our content, you can be sure to check us out on all of our other platforms. In the video description, I have our Twitter at WCBN Sports on Twitter, our Instagram at WCBN Sports Radio, our website as well, WCBNsports.org. And if you head over there right now, you can see a breaking news article from my co-executive director, Adam Bressler. He got the scoop on the movement to expand the Maze Rage inside Chrysler Center and has a great article on that. So make sure to head on over to WCBNsports.org to find that, as well as all sorts of other things by Adam, our XFL beat writer here at WCBN. Also going on currently and just about to wrap up is the Daily Sports Report on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. That is Monday through Thursday on 88.3. So this one, the last one for the week, but we will pick right back up Monday. So make sure to tune in there for the Daily Sports Talk radio show on WCBN. Enough with the plugs, and we are ready to go back in the top of the second inning. It's going to be Hirschberger, then Dodd and Fisk, 5, 6, 7. First two up for the Golden Flashes. Hirschberger puts that one down third base, and what a heads-up play there by Taylor Bump to just let it roll foul. It was a great bunt by Hirschberger, and Bump was just caught way deep in the hole. Had she come up and tried to field it, Hirschberger would have reached with plenty of time. But that one just a play to the experience of Taylor Bump over there on third. It'll be an 0-1 count for Hirschberger as she steps back in against the lefty Bobian. Long pause in the windup. Now the 0-1 delivery, a big swing, but coming up empty is Hirschberger, and now Bobian's ahead 0-2. If that name Hirschberger rings a bell for you, it's probably because she was the main reason for the only run Kent State scored back in game number 1, a long solo home run towards right field as she watches the 0-2 go by high and outside. A .316 hitter on the season, 6 hits and 19 at-bats. Still down on this count, way back in that left-handed batter's box, or back left foot resting pretty much on the back line. Bobian's 1-2 fouled back. Short, compact swing from Hirschberger to just barely put a bat on the ball. It's Dodd over in the on-deck circle. The freshman came in to pinch hit last game, but was sat down by Storako. 1-2 delivery from Bobian, changeup. Floats a bit out of her hand early, and it goes way high and outside. Carson has to jump up to grab it. Corners playing even with the bags with 2 strikes. Middle of the infield playing back at normal depth. 2-2 pitch from Bobian. Swung on and missed. Bobian got her to chase the rise ball upstairs, and that's out number 1. Make it strikeout number 36 on the season for Megan Bobian in just under 32 innings pitched. And that'll bring up the aforementioned Dodd. Struck out swinging in her only appearance in game number 1. She takes a big hack at the rise ball here and almost swings herself out of her shoes. A veteran presence on the mound, or in the circle rather, in Megan Bobian. Just taking advantage of all the little intricacies she has in this at-bat against the freshman Dodd. That one missing high and outside for ball number 1. The sophomore Fisk over on deck, looking on, trying to time up Bobian. We will see her as there's only 1 out. The 1-1, a change-up, and a half swing from Dodd. That ball was pretty much past her when he threw her hands at it. Bobian completely in the driver's seat in this at-bat, settling in now for the 1-2. Deep breath, and now the delivery. Rise ball missing high and outside, and we'll even it out. It's getting later now. Clock ticking towards 6:30, but the fans still here in a pretty good number for the home openers here at Alumni Field. 2-2 pitch from Bobian, popped up foul. The freshman barely got a piece of it, but it's enough to extend this at-bat. Bobian checks the wristband, now set to deliver on 2-2. The windup, change-up, hit foul again, and it'll go off the net before making its way over to Taylor Bump. Good adjustment halfway through her string there by Jess Dodd to just barely put her bat on it. Again, not a great swing, but enough to stay alive. Front foot even with the front of the plate. Dodd settling back in now. 2-2 pitch on the way. Blown by her. Great pitch there by Megan Bobian. And that's 2 up and 2 down for the Golden Flashes. So now 2 outs and no runners on. Megan Bobian will set to deliver against Alex Fisk. First one hits softly on the ground over towards Kaylee Rodriguez, a routine play, and that's 3 up and 3 down for Kent State. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Michigan still up 1-0 here. It'll be 5, 6, 7. Kiki Thole, Taylor Bump, and Kaylee Rodriguez due up for Michigan, followed by Audrey LeClaire and Ella McVeigh. Kiki Thole with that 3-run home run back in game number 1. This is now out of two complete games against Kent State, the first of which came back on March 4th, a little less than 10 days ago. Kiki Thole had a 3-run homer in that one, and now comes right back with another 3-run homer in game number 1 to dead center field. Andrea Scowley will take the circle again, a 2.24 ERA. Let up 1 hit on 1 run back in inning number 1. Also tossed in a strikeout as the throwdown comes from Young, and we are set to go. Home plate umpire Antonio Flores wipes off the plate, and we're about 15 seconds away from game time. The sky here in Ann Arbor, a deep blue, is the sun not completely set, but definitely hidden behind the trees. It'll be Kiki Thole to step up to the plate. A .235 hitter on the season, 8 hits so far, but 3 of her 8 are home runs. First pitch called a strike in the lower outside corner. 0-1 pitch now on the way from Scowley. That one, again, aimed for the outside, but missing high. Scowley takes her time, looking over to her dugout to get her signs. Now settling back in, right foot on the rubber. The 1-1. That one, a changeup right down Broadway for a called strike 2, and now Kiki Thole is down in this one. The 1-2 pitch from Scowley. Check swing, but it's low and outside for ball number 2. Nice job there by Thole, laying off that one. She'll have an even count when she steps back in. No runners on, no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The 2-2 pitch to Thole. Change up again, missing low and outside. So after getting down in this count away, Thole has battled her way all the way back to a full count. 3-2, no outs. Scowley's delivery hit on the ground over towards third base. Making a nice play is Fisk, throwing across the diamond in time for out number 1. Fisk slid on that right knee to get over to the ball, and plenty of time to pop up and make a nice delivery over to wing at first. So 1 up and 1 down for Scowley in the bottom of the second inning, and that'll bring up Taylor Bump. Bump 2 for 3 with a single, with 2 singles rather, back in game number 1. Looking to keep things going here. She takes a big swing and miss on pitch number 1. Now she's down. The sophomore, Kaylee Rodriguez, looking on from her space on deck. 0-1 pitch to Bump, missing outside, and will go to 11. Scowley taking her time, standing at the back of the circle now, finally getting her signs and stepping up. Nods yes immediately, now delivers on 1-1. This one riding inside, barely missing the front left elbow of Taylor Bump. And now she'll have a 2-1 count to work with. Two-1, 1 out, nobody on. Scowley again wasting no time going to her delivery. This one popped up. It'll go foul but stay in play, covering a lot of ground and making a sliding play to get over to it as the right fielder, Cole. That one wasn't too well hit, but it stayed up in the air long enough for Cole to have enough time to track it down and make a nice sliding play in foul territory for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Scowley, and that will bring up Kaylee Rodriguez. 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and her only at-bat back in game number 1. Looking for a little bit more production here. First pitch missing high and outside. Rodriguez hitting in the number 7 spot, so it'll be 7, 8, 9, the next 3. Rodriguez, LeClaire, and McVeigh. Infield playing straight up as well as the outfield. The wind has completely died down. 1-0 pitch. Missing that same spot high and outside. It'll be a hitter's count for Rodriguez when she steps back in. The junior LeClaire looking on from her space on deck. Had a fantastic game back in the first matchup. As the 2-0 to Rodriguez makes it 3-0. As I was saying, LeClaire back in game number 1, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, also scored herself. The 3-0 pitch here, most likely just going to see Rodriguez watch this one goes by. It's going to be a called strike at the top of the zone. Now a 3-1 hitter's count for Rodriguez. The pace of play here in game number 2 is slowed down quite a bit, as game number 1 was over in pretty much an hour and a half, as this one's hit hard down the first base line, but it's going to go foul. That ball from Scowley was left right over the middle of the plate. Rodriguez turned on it just a bit too early, so it'll be a full count with 2 outs when she steps back in. Rodriguez up near the front of the batter's box. Full count pitch. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch there by Scowley going to the off speed on a full count. And that'll retire the side. Michigan goes scoreless in the bottom of the second, but still holds that 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the third. It'll be 8-9 top, due up for Megan Bobie, and she's got Robeson first, then Young, followed by Whitmore back at the top of the order. Robeson, the second baseman, struggled a bit back in game number 1. Went 0 for 1 on the offensive end, had 2 errors on the defensive end that kept Michigan alive and led to them scoring a few more runs on their way to that 11-1 run rule victory in 5 innings. Defensive lineup stays the same. It'll be Carson behind the plate, Bobie in the circle, and then Taylor Bump at third, Ella McVeigh at short, Kaylee Rodriguez at second, and Kiki Thole at first, and then left to right in the outfield, Blair, Burkhart, and then rounding out that 5 is Audrey LeClaire in right. The throw down from Carson, and we are just about set to go. Again, it's 8-9 top, Robeson, Young, followed by Whitmore back up in the 1 hole. Quick little meeting in the circle. And now we are set to go. Again, the temperature continues to drop here in Ann Arbor. Wind making it feel a little bit colder than it is. Feels like temperature at 32 degrees. Bobian's first pitch of inning number 3 is going to be a called strike right down Broadway to Delaney Robeson. Robeson taking her time, now settling back in. Robeson, the freshman from Heartland, Michigan. Watches pitch number 2 go by up near her eyes for ball number 1. Bobian nods yes to the sign from the dugout. Now she'll settle in, checking the wristband on that right hand and spinning the ball on the left. The 1-1 delivery on the way. This one popped up foul, and it's going to go backwards into the net before making its way into Hannah Carson's glove. It'll be a 1-2 count. The catcher, Young, also a freshman, over on deck, looking on, trying to time up Bobby. And this still the first time through the order for Kent State, so neither Robeson or Young have seen Bobian yet. Bobian's 1-2 misses high and outside, and the count now 2-2. Bobian's even delivery. Check swing, but it's a little bit high. They won't bother to appeal down to first base, and now it's a full count. Kent State in a decent position to get something going here is the first batter, Robeson, one ball away from ending up on first base. Full count from Bobian. Check swing, and it goes high. So now one runner up and one runner on first for Kent State here in inning number 3. That will bring up the catcher, Jalen Young. As I mentioned, Young, the freshman from Marysville, Ohio, looking to get something going here for her Golden Flashes. Rest of the team on their feet in the dugout up on the front fence. First pitch, catching the lower outside corner for a called strike 1. Robeson, one stolen base on the season. Now we're going to have a quick word between the third base umpire, Brian Smith, and home place umpire, Antonio Flores. They're pointing down towards right field, not quite sure what's going on. Again, they're shouting down towards the right field corner, not too sure what the stoppage of play is about. Looks like it was some flash photography coming from the photographers out behind the right field fence. Now play has resumed. It'll be Bobian to settle back in with an 0-1 count. No outs and a runner on first. Runner goes. It's going to be a bunt lay down. Kiki Thole making the play and getting the runner at first base. So Young does her job and advances Robeson. And now Kent State in a good position to tack one on. It's a runner on second base with one out. And that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Alexandria Whitmore. Textbook offensive work there by Kent State to put a runner with wheels on second base. A single would almost assuredly score Robeson. First pitch, a changeup that floats high and outside. Bobian looks to the dugout, asks for a repeat of the signs, and now she'll settle back in. Long delivery. This one swung on and missed. Whitmore took a big hack at it, but came up empty, and now the count goes 1-1. Thole and Bump on the corners, playing up even with the bags. Even a step or two in front. Bobian's 1-1 delivery. Slapped down, and it bounces backwards and up into the hand of Hannah Carson, who quick shakes that one off. So Bobian ahead here, 1-2. One out, one runner in scoring position. It's Robeson over there on second base. Whitmore looking for her second RBI of the season. She lines up the bat. 1-2 pitch. Hit foul over towards third base, and it'll bounce its way back in. Quick stoppage as The home plate umpire, Antonio Flores, comes and has a quick word with Coach Carol Hutchins. And now play is resumed. Looks like they're going to say they're going to call that last one a bunt off the bat of Whitmore. So the foul bunt with 2 strikes will send Whitmore back to the dugout, and that'll bring up Jade Raymer with 2 outs. And an unfortunate swing of events for Kent State, where they went from 1 out with 1 runner in scoring position over at second base to now 2 outs, basically for free. Beaubien caught Raymer on a changeup her first time up to sit her down looking. 0-1 pitch with 2 outs. That one missing the bottom of the zone. It'll even it out at 1-1. Just like before, corners playing up, middle of the infield playing about a step back from the baseline. The outfielders playing well in the middle of the outfield as well. Beaubien's 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. And now Beaubien 1 strike away from getting her team back in the offensive end. Beaubien taking her time. 1-2 delivery on the way. 2 outs. Popped up foul. We'll do it again. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here. With Robeson still over on second base. Kent State in a position to put one across. Beaubien's 1-2 delivery on the way. Changeup hit foul. Raymer lucky to put the bat on that one there. Was way out ahead of it. Almost out of the batter's box. Good wheels over at second base. A single would almost assuredly score Robeson here. Beaubien's 1-2 pitch again. With 2 outs, missing outside. As Carson takes a look down to second base, trying to keep the runner Robeson honest. Not much has changed here for Megan Beaubien besides the numbers on the scoreboard behind her. Still as confident as ever. 2-2 pitch on the way. Checks the wristband, now goes to the glove. The delivery to Raymer. Changeup, popped up foul, covering a lot of ground to get over to it is Kiki Thole, but it'll make its way over her head. And we'll do that 2-2 pitch again. Had Thole been playing behind the base instead of a front, might have been able to get over to it, but that one just hit in an awkward little spot just past the Michigan dugout against the wall. 2-2 pitch from Beaubien again. 2 outs. This one hit hard on the ground, foul. Bump able to reel it in, but no matter. Robeson got a good jump at second base. This now a long at-bat. Great job by Jade Raymer just making Beaubien throw pitches. Deep breath on 2-2. The delivery. Swung on and missed. Beaubien gets her to chase the rise ball upstairs, and Kent State leaves another runner on base. We head to the bottom of the third. Michigan still up 1-0. Beaubien not fazed by the runner behind her at all, and just taking care of business at the plate. Following the strikeout from Megan Beaubien, it would be Michigan on the offensive end now. It's LeClaire, McVeigh, and then the top of the order in Lexi Blair. LeClaire in that 8th spot, 333 hitter on the season. Mentioned back in game number 1, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, as well as scoring 1 run herself. With 45 seconds until game time, I would like to just remind everyone that coming up next week on Wednesday, March 16th, it is Giving Blue Day here at the University of Michigan. Giving Blue Day is the yearly fundraiser for all student organizations here, and a huge portion of WCBN's revenue for every year comes through donations from our kind fans at home like you. So if you are interested in donating to help continually support us and make sure we can go to places like Tampa, Florida, or down to the Orange Bowl or anything like that, we've sent 2 separate teams down to Indianapolis in the past 2 weeks for both the men's and women's Big Ten tournaments. But none of that is possible without kind donations from you at home. So if you are interested, stay tuned and make sure to turn on our Twitter notifications, as we will be posting the link there and also on our website at WCBNsports.org. So make sure to just stay up to date. And if you can, maybe potentially think about donating. First pitch to Audrey LeClaire here in the bottom of the 3rd inning rolls its way to the backstop, as Scowley misses by quite a fair margin. LeClaire, a .333 hitter on the season, situated way deep in that left-handed batter's box. Watches pitch number 2 go by high and outside, and now she'll have a 2-0 hitter's count. The freshman McVeigh over on deck. Her average sitting just below 300 as well at 295. 2-0 pitch to LeClaire, fouled back. Before making its way back in play, Young will field it and toss it on back to Scowley. Audrey LeClaire, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona. Settling in now. 2-1 pitch from Scowley on the way. This one chopped towards shortstop. It'll be a tough play and bouncing up off the chest of Whitmore. Audrey LeClaire will reach safely. That one would have been a tough play either way with the wheels of LeClaire. And we'll see whether that one goes down as a hit or an error. Either way, Michigan will have a runner on first base with no outs, and Ella McVeigh stepping up to the plate. McVeigh also in that left-hand side. The runner goes. Throw down not in time and taking the bag, and she came off of it. LeClaire was there in time and then popped up, and they said her hand was off the base before the left foot got back down. And now we're going to have a quick little discussion. Bonnie Thole came right over to give her peace of mind to the umpires, and Coach Carol Hutchins right over there as well. The umpire crew will now get together and have a talk about it. LeClaire was there with well enough time discussion seems to be wrapping up, and they're going to call her out. LeClaire got an amazing jump. Nice throw from Young, but just an unfortunate swing there for Michigan. That'll be 1 out and nobody on here instead of no outs and a runner on second. Michigan's taking advantage of Kent State on the bases all day long, just being aggressive. That time there had it all spelled out. First pitch to McVeigh, fouled off towards the left-hand side. Correction, that one. The second pitch, the first pitch on the throwdown towards LeClaire was called a ball, so the count now is 1-1. One pitch towards Ella McVeigh. Missing outside. The count will go now 2-1. Long pause between pitch number 3 and 4. Scowley taking your time, now settling in. The windup on 2-1. hit hard towards the shortstop. Whitmore fired across the diamond, bang, bang, play, and they're going to say she got her. Great hustle by McVeigh to put pressure on the defense, but a nice scoop and toss over to first base from Whitmore, and that's 2 outs. That'll bring up Lexi Blair at the top of the order with 2 outs and nobody on. Blair was left stranded on third base following her single in the first inning as she watches pitch number 1 go by off speed on the outside half for a called strike 1. Livingston over on deck, staying ready should she be called upon. Blair swings on the 0-1. It's popped up foul. It had potential to stay in, but just makes its way over the back fence. And now Blair down in an 0-2 hole. The sun is completely set here in Ann Arbor. The artificial lights above providing all the light here. Temperature sitting at 30 degrees. What more could you expect from March softball in Michigan? 0-2 pitch to Lexi Blair, high and outside. Like quite a fair bit as Scally shakes her head and she'll head to the back of the circle. Outfield playing back, infield playing back. A one-on-one duel here between Andrea Scally and Lexi Blair. The 1-2 pitch hit deep towards left field, going towards the corner. Coming over to make the play is Raymer. And that'll bring us to the top of the 4th inning. An unfortunate swing of events. LeClaire reached safely on second, but then pulled her foot on the steal attempt for out number 1. McVeigh grounded out, and then Blair popped up for all 3 outs. That'll bring us to the top of the 4th. Michigan still holding on to that 1-run lead as it's 1-0 here at Alumni Field. Just tuning in, would like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button beneath the video feed and ring that bell notification to be notified anytime we go live so you never miss a broadcast. We have all sorts of games coming up. The 3rd game of this weekend slate coming up on Sunday, as well as Michigan baseball coming up pretty soon. Michigan softball continues to edge on. We will have crews at both the first 2 rounds of the women's NCAA AA tournament, as well as the men's, depending on where the bracket takes them. Selection Sunday coming up just about 72 hours from now. Be interesting to see where both the Michigan men's and women's teams end up. The timer hits 10, and we're about set to go here in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be 3-4-5 due up that Beaubien will have to face. It's Wing, Cole, and Hirschberger, followed by Dodd, Fisk, Robeson, and Young to round out that order. Wing worked a walk in her first time up. Beaubien's first pitch on the way, a changeup in the dirt, but swung on and missed. Kiki Thil doing some jumping jacks over at first base, trying to stay loose, trying to stay warm. As I mentioned, pretty cold here at Alumni Field right now. Beaubien nods yes on 0-1 and delivers, just missing below the knees. The count will go 1-1. Cole over on deck has donned the warm-up jacket as the 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner for strike number 2. The first baseman, Wing, a huge piece of this Golden Flashes lineup, a .367 hitter on the season. Beaubien's 1-2 pitch on the way, changeup, hits soft down the line towards first base. and it stays foul, a routine ground ball to Kiki Thole, and she steps on first base herself for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down. That'll bring up Madison Cole, the cleanup hitter. Cole, the graduate student from Portage, Michigan. First pitch she sees just below her knees, called ball 1. Middle of the infield playing back almost near the dirt. Corners playing even with the bags. Long time between pitches here. Now Beaubien going to the glove. 1-0 pitch. Chopped over towards Kayla Rodriguez. Pops out of her glove. McVeigh fields it, but won't make the throw over. Cole's going to reach on an error. That one, an awkward little hit there. Cole hit it pretty much straight down into the ground, only a few feet in front of home plate. It made its way in the air all the way over to Kaylee Rodriguez at second, but just pops out of the palm of her glove. And that'll put a runner on for Kent State. That'll go down as an error and bring up Hirschberger. First pitch her way. A called strike in the outside half. Great pitch there by Beaubien, painting the corner. Cole yet to attempt to steal here so far this season. 0-1 pitch on the way to Hirschberger. Changeup floats high and outside for ball number 1. That changeup has been Megan Beaubien's bread and butter for her entire tenure here with the Wolverines. Just lost that one a little bit. 1-1 pitch on the way. That one tried to get a bunt down as Hirschberger, but goes foul. Carson had a shot at it, but went a little bit wide to her left-hand side, and now she'll be down in a 1-2 hole. Madison Hirschberger, the only run for Kent State last game, came off her bat on that solo home run, and boy, could they use one of those here. 1-2 pitch on the way for Megan Beaubien. Rides inside and hits her on the front right elbow. So now 2 straight batters reach cleanly for Kent State, and now they're in a position to do some damage. 1 out, 2 runners on, one of those in scoring position in Cole. That'll bring up the freshman Jess Dodd for the 3rd time today. Had 1 at-bat back in game number 1, struck out looking. Her first at-bat today in this one, back in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging. First pitch right at her knees, and she comes up empty. Cole on second, Hirschberger on first. The freshman Dodd looking for not only her first career hit, but her first career RBI. Beaubien blows the 0-1 past her, and now Dodd in a scary position. The sophomore Fisk looking on from her space over on deck in front of her dugout. Beaubien delivers on 0-2. Missing high and outside, Carson slides over on the right knee to keep it away from the backstop. Kiki Thole again, jumping up and down, swinging the arms around, trying to stay warm. 1-2 advantage pitch from Beaubien on the way. That one hit hard on the line, but it's going to go foul. That pitch looked like it was on the inside part of the plate. Dodd well laid on that one. Following the foul ball, the count will still be 1-2. Again, 2 runners on. Hirschberger on first. Cole on second. And Dodd's going to quick call time. Beaubien wastes no time getting back on the mound. 1-2 pitch with one out. Change up. Swung on. They're going to say it was barely fouled off. The foul ball sends the runners back. It made its way to the backstop. That's an unlucky break if you're Kent State. One-two pitch on the way following the foul tip. Beaubien again is fouled off. The freshman Dodd seems to be finding her timing here as this at-bat continues to wage on. Now the fourth straight time we're going to do this 1-2 count. Beaubien settles in. Nods yes to her wristband. Now goes to the windup. Rise ball high and outside, and the count finally advances. It'll go 1-2 now. Correction, 2-2 now. Two count here to just odd. Beaubien shakes her head no to the first, nods yes to the second. The delivery on 2-2. Swung on and hit foul. After going down with not much of a fight in either of her first two at-bats today, Jess Dodd is scratching and clawing for every inch here with runners on second and first. Beaubien's delivery on 2-2. Change up, hit foul again. This one into the Kent State dugout. A few players jumping out of the way. The sun has completely set here in Ann Arbor. You get one of the most beautiful views on the entire campus. You can see the big house over to my left side. Ray Fisher Stadium right across. 2-2 pitch from Beaubien, fouled back again. Way out in the distance, over the top of the Intramural Sports Building, you can see the lit up top of the bell tower. Again, just fantastic view here from the press box at Alumni Field. Number 22, Jess Dodd, steps back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Change up, hit softly on the ground towards first. Kiki Thole steps on first base, but both runners advance. So finally, Beaubien's able to get Dodd out, but Dodd with a productive out as she moves the runners. It's now 2 runners in scoring position on second and third as Alex Fisk steps to the plate. Fisk 0 for 1 in this one, grounded out to second base her first time up in the second inning. First pitch to her, tipped back into the glove of Hannah Carson for strike number 1. Beaubien trots back to the back of the circle, now right back to the rubber, not wasting any time. The 0-1 pitch, change up on the outside, missing. Nice job by Hannah Carson covering a lot of ground to keep the runner Cole over there honest at third. One pitch on the way from Megan Beaubien. Fisk waves way out in front of a changeup. Her swing was completely finished by the time the ball even got to Hannah Carson's glove. And now Beaubien in Fisk's head here. 1-2 count. 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position. Beaubien goes upstairs and she fouls it back. Alex Fisk, the freshman from Bellevue, Ohio, looking to put her team out in front here in game number 2 with this doubleheader. Beaubien nods yes to the wristband, now delivers. The 1-2 pitch. Change up. At the bottom of the zone, and she rings her up. What a battle for Megan Bobie and to leave two stranded in scoring position. Not afraid to go back to her changeup there on 1-2. And that'll bring us to the bottom of the fourth inning. Michigan going to look for a few more insurance runs here as they've got the top of their order up. It's going to be Malene Livingston batting second, followed by Burkhart, Carson, Thole, Bump, Rodriguez, LeClaire, and McVeigh. So 2 through 9 will be due up for Michigan, and it will be Scowley to take her spot once more in the circle. So game number 3 of this season between these two teams, second of the day, is the most competitive one by far. Michigan run-ruled Kent State back on March 4th in the first meeting, 13-0 in a 5-inning run rule. Michigan with another 5-inning run rule earlier today in the 4 o'clock game with an 11-1 victory. This one, as we enter the bottom of the fourth, Michigan the only one with a run on the board, 1-0. The throwdown comes from Young, and we are set to go. It'll be Livingston due up first. Struck out in her first time up. First and only time up back in the first inning. Michigan 1 run on 2 hits here. Again, just looking to tack a few more on. Livingston, Burkhart, and Carson, the first 3 due up. Infield playing straight up. Corners a few steps behind the bags. Middle of the infield a few steps in from the dirt or from the grass. Scowley checks the wristband. Delivers on the fresh count to Livingston. This one catches the outside half for a called strike 1. Livingston takes a couple big practice swings and now blows into her hands before stepping back up to the plate. The back right foot even with the middle of the plate. Scowley's 0-1 is fouled down into her own foot. Got Livingston ahead of the changeup, and then she'll have to walk this one off as she puts it off her toes. Quick meeting is over as Livingston now has a quick word with Hutch over at third. Home plate umpire Antonio Flores giving Livingston plenty of time to walk this one off. Those ones never feel good, especially not when your toes are pretty much frozen solid out there. The count is 0-2 following the foul tip. Scowley way out ahead. 0-2 pitch to Livingston, low and in the dirt, and makes its way to the backstop. First one today that Young hasn't been able to reel in. She's been practically a brick wall back there. So, after missing low, Scowley will settle back in, this time with a 1-2 count. Looking to strike Livingston out for the second straight time. The 1-2 delivery. Check swing, hits it slowly towards second base. It'll be a close play, flipping it over to second base, or to first base rather, in time, is Robeson. That ball is on the outside half. Livingston threw kind of a check swing at it. It just dribbled it over towards first base. A routine play for Robeson. That's going to be 1 up and 1 down. Christina Burkhart up to the plate now. Standing tall in that left-hand batter's box, way near the back of the box as she shows bunt on pitch number 1, but it misses high and outside. Trying to keep the third baseman Fisk honest. She was way back beyond the bag. And sees Scowley's breath as she takes a deep sigh and now settles in. The 1-0 pitch evens it out at 1-1, catching the outer half. Burkhart, the 3-hitter up at the plate. Hannah Carson over on deck. 1-1 pitch from Scowley. popped up. This one arcs high. It'll stay in the infield, having a hard time reading it is the shortstop Whitmore, and finally reeling it in behind second base as she has to quick lunge over to her right side. The wind blowing around a little bit, but most of that probably due to the lights, as Whitmore had a real hard time reeling that ball in. That'll bring up Hannah Carson, though, with 2 outs. Michigan putting up the lone run in this one in the bottom of the first inning, has gone scoreless in the last 2. Now is in danger of going scoreless for the 3rd straight, as they've got 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch to Hannah Carson outside for ball number 1. Kiki Thole bounces in the on-deck circle. Had that huge 3-run home run back in game number 1 of this doubleheader. Hannah Carson takes a check swing, and they're going to say she went around, and now it'll be a 1-1 count for Scowley. Scowley leans forward, now stands tall. Her 1-1 pitch on the way to Carson. Changeup hit hard on the ground. That one's going to get through the infield. And Michigan's got their first base runner of the 4th inning. Changeup was left over the plate, and Carson just put it in the hole between first and second. So with 2 outs, Michigan finally puts one on base. That'll bring up Kiki Thole. First pitch on the way to Thole. Hit hard up the middle and right at the shortstop, Whitmore. And that'll retire the side. Thole got a great piece of it, but just couldn't find the hole. That'll bring us to the top of the 5th inning. Michigan still up only by 1. It's 1-0. It'll be Megan Beaubien to trot back out there and take her spot in the circle. Defensive lineup staying the same. Left to right in the outfield, it's Blair, Burkhart, and LeClaire. Left to right in the infield, Bump, McVeigh, Rodriguez, and Thole at first base. Megan Beaubien in the circle, and Hannah Carson behind the dish. Beaubien's going to have 8-9 top to deal with. It'll be the second baseman, Robeson, who was walked her first time up. Was ended up stranded on second base back in the 3rd inning. Followed by the catcher Young, and then heading to Whitmore, the shortstop, back at the top of the order. Again, if you're just tuning in, we'd like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here on YouTube. This one, the home opener at Alumni Field, but we have plenty of coverage lined up for the rest of this season. You'll hear my voice a few more times, as well as some new voices as some of the new WCBN freshmen get involved. This recruiting class that we've had is one of the best in years. So very excited for not only this season, but the future of our organization. Quick meeting wraps up in the circle, and we are set to go. As I mentioned, it'll be 8-9 top, Robeson, Young, and Whitmore. Delaney Robeson, the freshman from Heartland, Michigan. First pitch her way, low and outside in the dirt for ball number 1. Nice pick there by Carson on the backhand. Beaubien taking her time now. Goes to the wristband on 1-0, now to the glove. Thole creeping up at first base. That one a called strike in the outside. Beaubien shakes off the ball and rubs it against her left pant leg. Now settling back in. 1-1 pitch on the way towards Delaney Robeson. That one popped up foul and tips off the net and now lands above my head on the roof of the press box. 1-2 count here for Megan Beaubien, well out in front. There's no outs. The freshman Robeson going to look to get something going here. They're running out of time. It's the top of the 5th inning. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Beaubien got her to wave at that one on the outside, her 7th of the night. So after sitting down the first, that'll bring up Young. Young with the sac bunt, her last time up in the 3rd inning. First pitch, her way. This one lined foul. Check swing came in on the hands of Young. Beaubien continues to cruise in the circle. She's up 0-1 in this count. Again, 1 out, no runners on here. 0-1 pitch. Beaubien goes to the rise ball and gets her to wave at it. And now she's ahead 0-2. When Michigan gets back in to the dugout, it'll be Taylor Bump, Kaylee Rodriguez, and Audrey LeClaire due up in that order, 6, 7, 8. Beaubien's 0-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, but it's going to go foul. Umpire Antonio Flores has a quick look at that ball before deeming it not fit for play and tosses it into the Michigan dugout. Beaubien will have this 0-2 pitch again. Jalen Young taking a deep breath and now steps into that right-hand batter's box, situated way deep in the box. An open stance with the left foot in front of the right. Popped up on 0-2. Thole covering a lot of ground to get over to it, but it's going to make its way over to the net and bounce in the stands. Both Thole and LeClaire covered a lot of ground to get over to it in front of the net. Beaubien will come up, grab the ball from the home plate umpire before returning to the circle where she meets Taylor Bump waiting for her. Beaubien checks the wristband and emphatically shakes her head no. Now set to deliver. 0-2 pitch, changeup, froze her and catches the outside corner for strike number 3. Make it 8 strikeouts on the night for Megan Beaubien. She got exactly what she wanted there. Saw the first sign, said no way, and then goes to her coveted changeup on the outside half. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Alexandria Whitmore. First pitch, popped up foul. It'll go well over the head of Hannah Carson and out of play. Whitmore 0 for 2 so far in this contest. This is the Kent State dugout showing some signs of life for the first time in a while. 0-1 pitch from Megan Beaubien. 2 outs. Corner's playing up here. Just missing the outside corner. And there's some cheers and the golden flashes. Middle of the infield playing up just a few steps behind the base path. Corner's playing up in front of the bags. 1-1 pitch to Whitmore. Change up. She's way out in front of it and tips it backwards into the net. Make it a 1-2 count here. Beaubien looking to retire the side. Antonio Flores shows 1-2. Whitmore lines up the bat. The 1-2 delivery is hit over foul. Whitmore just kind of threw her hands at that one as it rode inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. To the wristband, now to the glove. The windup. delivers on 2-2. Again, popped foul. Whitmore looking to get something going here with 2 outs. Again, Kent State kind of running out of time here. Michigan holds a 1-0 lead, but with the excellence of Megan Beaubien in the circle, runs have been hard to come by. 1-2 pitch from Beaubien on the way. 2 outs. Change up, low in the dirt. Carson drops down to her knees to block it. Beaubien shakes that one off and shakes the right hand. Rubs the ball on the left pant leg. Now will deliver on 2-2. Whitmore lining up the bat. This one swung on and missed. Got her on the off speed again. And Beaubien retires the side. Kent State hitters just have no answer for Megan Beaubien right now. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Michigan will have 6, 7, 8 due up to tack on a few more here. It'll be Taylor Bump, Kaylee Rodriguez, followed by Audrey LeClaire. Then to the 9 spot in Ella McVeigh before heading back up to Lexi Blair in the top of the order. It'll be Scowley to take the circle again. Has had an impressive outing so far. Has held Michigan to 1 run on just 3 hits in what will now be her 5th inning of work. Bump back in game number 1 went 2 for 3 with a run. Her run coming off the 2-run home run from Lexi Blair. The throw down from Young. And they'll have their meeting on the mound before play resumes. Temperature still hovering right around 30 degrees here. We got a few seconds before play resumes. I will quick pull up the broadcast schedule here for WCBN as we have a loaded slate coming up. Taylor Bump steps to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. She looks to get things going to potentially tack a few more on for Michigan. First pitch her way, missing inside for ball number 1. Quick knocks the dirt off her cleats and now steps back in. Scowley takes her time, looking to her dugout, gets her signs. Now delivers on 1-0. Missing outside. Bump taking her time before she'll step back in with a hitter's count. Scowley taking her time now. Kaylee Rodriguez on looking from her spot on deck. The 2-0 count right at the knees of Taylor Bump for a called strike 1. Wind is picked back up, blowing directly into the Michigan dugout. Bump awaiting in her spot on deck. 2-1 count, misses inside for ball number 3. Three-one hitters count here for Taylor Bump. Quick fires the hips to get loose. Scowley delivers on 3-1. This one hit hard right back up the middle, barely missing the leg of Scowley, and that's going to be another single for Taylor Bump, who stays hot. Nice piece of hitting there on 3-1. She knew that Scowley was going to have to come to her and was just waiting on it. So first runner up and first one on base. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner Bump will head back to the dugout. And stepping over onto first base is going to be Ellie Sealer. Sealer, the freshman from Monroe, Michigan, got a lot of action early in the season. This the first time we've seen her today. Michigan in a nice spot here. One runner on first base with plenty of speed in Sealer and no outs. 7, 8, 9 still up. Kaylee Rodriguez, Audrey LeClaire, and then Ella McVeigh in that 9 spot. Corners playing up. First pitch to Rodriguez, well above her head. Nice job by Young going up to get it. Rodriguez taking her time, looking down to third base. And now we'll settle back in. 1-0 pitch from Scowley on the way. Again, missing outside. It'll be a 2-0 hitters count. All the fans left here in Alumni Field definitely bundled up as it just continues to get colder and colder by the minute. 2-0 pitch to Rodriguez, misses outside, and the count will go now 3-0. Scowley struggling with command a little bit here. Rodriguez takes a big deep breath, looks into the bat, now steps into her spot in that left side. 3-0 count on the way from Scowley. That's going to be a called strike to Letters. Rodriguez struck out her first and only time up back in the second inning. Scowley got her on a nice changeup. 3-1 pitch to Rodriguez. This one popped up deep towards right field. That one way back to the wall, and it's going to be over but foul. Had plenty of distance. But well foul. So for Scowley, nothing but a long strike. It'll be a 3-2 full count here. Sealer on first base with plenty of speed. A well-placed single could score. The full count pitch. Hit on the ground towards third base, but goes foul. Hutch takes a quick step out of the way. And we're going to do that one again. There's some action down in the Kent State bullpen, but don't quite have an angle to see who it is. As soon as I find out, I will relay that information your way. Rodriguez steps back in with a full count. The pitch, changeup, gets her swinging, and it's a drop third strike. She will not advance, though, due to the runner in Ellie Sealer on first. Nice job there by Scowley battling her way back. That'll bring up LeClaire. Audrey LeClaire. It single her first and only time up back in the third inning. LeClaire, a .357 hitter so far this season, has 6 RBIs on her resume as well. First pitch, missing high and outside, ball number 1. Ella McVeigh jumping around over on deck, trying to stay loose. 1-0 pitch to LeClaire. Swung on, popped backwards into the net, and Young will field it cleanly. Following the foul ball, the count will be an even 1-1. 1 out and 1 runner on, and Ellie Sealer in that number 1 jersey over on first base. The windup. The pitch towards LeClaire popped up over the fence, and oh, what a play as a fan almost makes a highlight reel catch leaning out of his seat. LeClaire now down in a 1-2 hole. Sealer still over on first base, getting a comfortable lead after each pitch. The 1-2 from Scowley. Waved on and missed. The runner goes, and Sealer cleanly gets to second base. Nice throw down by Young, but not in time. LeClaire did strike out, so that'll bring up the bottom of the order. It's going to be a pinch hit. It'll be Lauren Essman in for Ella McVeigh. Lauren Essman now into pinch hit. She's got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here. Michigan still only with 1 run on the board. 1 run on 4 hits, as well as an error on the half of Kent State. Essman, a .327 hitter on the season. Watches pitch number 1 go by for a called strike 1, a changeup on the outside. Essman, a .327 hitter, but a .430 hitter with runners in scoring position and a .455 hitter with 2 outs. So the advanced statistics leaning in favor of Essman here. She takes a big swing and drives this one back towards center field. See ya! Lauren Essman got absolutely all of that one. And Michigan cracks it open. A pinch hit 2-run bomb from Lauren Essman. And that ball was absolutely crushed. There was no doubt about that one as soon as it touched her bat. And Michigan tacks on 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Clear the bases on a 2-run home run on the pinch hit home run from Lauren Essman. That'll bring up the top of the order in Lexi Blair. 2 outs and nobody on as Essman clears the bases. First pitch, called strike in the outside half. Blair 1 for 2 in this one. A single back in the first inning, was left stranded on third base. That pinch hit home run from Essman, the second pinch hit home run of the day. Kiki Thole had a 3-run shot of her own back in game number 1. The 0-1 pitch, a generous call on the outside half as the changeup floats in for strike number 2. Blair steps back in, down at a big hole, Scowley way out in front. 2 outs, nobody on, and an 0-2 count. The pitch, high and outside. Melina Livingston looking on from the on-deck circle. 1-2 pitch to Lexi Blair. Fouled back, we'll do it again. Michigan finally gets the better of Andrea Scowley for the first time since the first inning. And talk about doing your job. Lauren Essman comes in to pinch hit and delivers. 1-2 pitch to Lexi Blair. Well above her head for ball number 2. You're starting to be able to see the breath of the players as they take deep breaths in and out. The temperature continues to drop. After being down 0-2 early, Blair trying to battle her way back here. It's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. This one popped up. It'll stay in the infield. Coming over to field it is Whitmore, and that'll be out number 3. So we'll head to the top of the 6th inning, but not before Michigan tacks 2 more on, coming from the 2-run blast from Lauren Essman. It'll be Beaubien to take the circle again. She's been fantastic so far through 5 innings. She'll have Pretty much the top of the order due up. It'll be Raymer, Wing, and Cole, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, followed by Hirschberger, Dodd, Fisk, Robeson, and Young. Kiki Thole with plenty of energy over there at first base. And it is Ella McVeigh re-entering for Lauren Essman. So Essman comes in, does a job, delivers 2 runs, and then will take her spot back in the dugout where it's nice and warm. Beaubien and Taylor Bump share a quick word. She continues to warm up. Again, it'll be 2, 3, 4 due up for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Raymer, Wing, and Cole as the throwdown from Hannah Carson comes. The stats lean in the favor of Megan Beaubien here. She's gotten the best of Raymer both of her times up today. Raymer struck out looking her first time up in the first inning, struck out swinging back in the third. First pitch is a changeup on the outside half. We do have word that it was Kylie Ringler warming up in the bullpen for Kent State, so if a pitching change does come, it will most likely be her. 0-1 pitch from Beaubien. Infield playing well in. Just missing the outside. Nice job there by Raymer laying off of that one. The wind continues to fluctuate as the big American flag in center field tells the story. It's died down a bit here. Beaubien's 1-1 pitch to Raymer. Laid down. It's going to be bumped coming over the field at firing to first base, and it's going to be bouncing off the glove of Kaylee Rodriguez. We'll see if that one goes down as a hit or an error. It was a tough play, but Bump had plenty of time to get to it, as Kaylee Rodriguez a little bit shaken up on that one. That one will go down as an error. Rodriguez seems to be okay. As the training staff and Hutch head back to their dugout. An awkward play there coming over from second base to take the throw at first, having to put that left foot on the side of the bag. Well, Rodriguez wasn't able to reel it in. Great job blocking the ball from making its way to the outfield. That had potential to advance. First pitch to Wing, called strike on the lower portion of the plate. So Kent State with their first base runner in a while here in the top of the 6th inning. Potential to do some damage. The 0-1 pitch from Beaubien to Savannah Wing. Pokes at a bunt. And we're going to have time called. Looks like it was fouled back into the elbow of Hannah Carson, who immediately grabbed that left side. She quick shakes it off. But still, Hutch and the training staff will come over and have a quick word with her. The runner will stay put at first base, and it'll be an 0-2 count for Savannah Wing when play resumes. Beaubien taking her time now. Settles in the circle. Raymer with decent speed over there at first base. 0-2 pitch on the way to Savannah Wing. High in the zone, and Carson bops right up, showing everybody that she is just fine. Kiki Thole pounds out some jumping jacks over at first base, staying loose. Beaubien's 1-2 pitch on the way to Wing. Changeup rides inside and hits her on the front elbow. Runners on first and second now, no outs. That will bring up Cole. So the leading run is now, the tying run is now up at the plate in Cole. Oh for 2 in this contest. Struck out swinging her first time up. Reached on error back in the 4th inning as she watches pitch number 1 go by for called ball 1. Raymer on second base. Wing on first following the hit by pitch. 1-0 pitch from Beaubien. Changeup just missing. That one looked good from up here. The wind is picked back up. Again, blowing towards that right field corner. Two-0 hitters count on the way to Madison Cole. The wind up from Beaubien. Delivered, check swing, and she went around. Cole, the right fielder, has had a pretty good day out in the field defensively, but looking to translate some of that to offense here. Top of the 6th inning, no outs, 2 runners on, one of which is in scoring position. Pitch to Cole's hit foul. Both runners were going. Raymer got a really good jump over on second base as well. Two-two count. No outs again. Runners on second and first. Pitch from Beaubien is a changeup that's fouled backwards into the fence. Probably to the benefit of Michigan that one is fouled off, as would have been an awkward play. No outs. The count still 2-2. The delivery from Megan Beaubien. Missing high and outside. The count now full. Full count, no outs. As Kent State potentially could load the bases here with Hirschberger coming up next. The 3-2 pitch hit on the ground towards second base. Making the play over at second as she throws it off the back. She throws it off the back of Wing, and Raymer coming all the way around to score. That one will go down as a fielder's choice as Rodriguez tried to get the lead runner at second base. And now time is out. Kent State finally on the board here. Took him until the top of the 6th inning. We're back in the same position we just were. Runners on second and first with no outs. It's going to be Madison Hirschberger to step up to the plate. Hirschberger delivered the lone run back in game number 1 on a solo shot to right field. The wind is blowing in her favor right now if she wants to do it again. Struck out her first time up, was hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning the last time she stepped up to the plate. This one hit on the ground towards Rodriguez at second. Gets the runner at second base on a little flip over to McVeigh. And that's going to be 1 out and runners on the corners now. So Hirschberger does a job, moves the runner Now with one out, there's a runner on third base. That'll bring up the freshman Dodd. Dodd still looking for her first hit of the season, the first of her collegiate career. Infield playing up, one out, runners on the corners. This one hit hard towards Kaylee Rodriguez. Goes over to first base, elects not to get the runner at home, and now fired across the diamond, and they've got the runner in a pickle. Bump, running her down and making the play. Looks like she got under the tag, but then she's well out there. Hirschberger got Grady on the bases. Kent State puts one more across. An awkward string of events there to end the inning, but Kent State able to put one more over, so it'll be 3-2 in favor of the Wolverines as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. There was runners on the corners. It was a hard ground ball to Rodriguez. Looked at home, decided to make the play over at first, and then on the throw to first, Hirschberger tried to take third base, and they caught her in a rundown. So a mental lapse turns into a double play, and now Michigan is just 3 outs away on the defensive end from wrapping things up here with like a few more insurance runs. But Scala is going to look to keep them scoreless here in bottom 6. It's the top of the order pretty much due up for Michigan. It's Melina Livingston, Christina Burkhart, and Hannah Carson. 2, 3, 4. Then it'll be followed by Kiki Thole in the 5 spot. Then Taylor Bump, Kaylee Rodriguez, Audrey LeClaire, and Ella McVeigh to round it out. With Kent State scoring 2 in the top of the 6th, looking back at that pinch hit home run from Lauren Essman, that is huge. The 2-run blast, the only thing keeping Michigan ahead so far. So the 2 transfer students in Melina Livingston and Christina Burkhart going to look to get Michigan going in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch on the way from Scowley is well above the eyes of Livingston for ball number 1. Livingston taking her time, stepping back in to the right-handed batter's box. Situated well up near the front, she fouls off the 1-0 into the net. Getting more action down there in the bullpen. Kylie Ringler warming up if needed. Livingston taking her time. 1-1 pitch on the way from Scowley. To the wristband, now to the windup. This one popped up foul. Over my way into the stands. Bounces up between a few fans. The count will go 1-2. So Scowley out ahead. Again, just looking to keep Michigan scoreless here. As it sits right now, in the top half of the 7th, Kent State would need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead, as Livingston is rung up. Off-speed pitch catches the inside of the plate for out number 1. That'll bring up Christina Burkhart. Burkhart 0 for 1 in this contest, walked back in the first inning, flew out to the shortstop in her last time up in the 4th. First pitch her way, a change-up low and outside for ball number 1. Carson taking her practice hacks on deck. Scowley taking a decent amount of time at the back of the circle before stepping up to the rubber. The 1-0. Again missing outside. Burkhart will have a 2-0 hitters count when she steps back in. Well near the back of the box. Back left foot, just about 6 inches from the back line. 2-0 pitch. Hit hard up the middle, and that one's going to get through the infield. Burkhart going to take a big look at it. Took a hard round towards second and decided to let up. That went in the gap, but not quite enough to make its way to the fence. So a single for Burkhart, and that'll bring up Hannah Carson with a runaround and 1 out. Christina Burkhart just continues her impressive campaign with her inaugural season with the Wolverines, now hitting .478. Hannah Carson stepping to the plate now. Carson takes a big swing on pitch number 1 and fouls it backwards into the net. Singled her last time up. Burkhart can run at first base. She's got 6 stolen bases on the season. Has reached safely on 86% of her attempts. Scowley's 0-1 pitch to Carson. Popped up. This one's going to stay in play. Scowley settling under it and easily making the play as it falls into her glove for out number 2. Burkhart retreats safely back to first base. And that'll bring up Kiki Thole. Thole lined out on her last time up. Hit a ball on the screws right to the shortstop, Whitmore. She settles in. First pitch her way. It's popped up. It's going to go well foul. So she'll just be down 0-1. Taylor bump over on deck if she's needed. I know I've mentioned it quite a few times, but Kiki Thole with that huge pinch hit 3-run home run back in game number 1. 0-1 pitch to her here is fouled back again. This one to the back net, and she's down 0-2 now. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Burkhart got a decent jump there at first base. Scowley taking all the time in the world to get her signs. Now going up to the rubber, checking the wristband once more. The delivery on 0-2. Change up near the letters, and it's going to go a bit high for ball number 1. Michigan still holds the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2. That leading run coming off the 2-run blast from Lauren Espin. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Nice pitch there by Scowley to send Michigan back to the dugout, and now Michigan just needs three outs to take both against Kent State. 3 and a handshake, and it'll be Megan Bobie and back in the circle. We head to the top of the 7th. It's going to be 7, 8, 9 due up for Kent State. Fisk, Robeson, and Young. Fisk, the third baseman, only 1 for 11 on the season. She's going to look to get her team going. The outfield taking their time. Waiting pretty much right in front of the Michigan bench, have a quick little discussion as the infield continues to warm up. Again, it's 7, 8, 9. Fisk, Robeson, and Young. They're going to be the 3 golden flashes that go to work here. Three and a handshake is all the Wolverines need. Bobian will take her place in the circle. Fisk 0 for 2 so far in this one. A ground out in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. His head coach Eric Oakley comes and has a quick word with the home plate umpire Antonio Flores. Might see a few substitutions here as they might go to the reinforcements to pinch hit. And looks like there will be some substitutions. It'll still be Fisk due up first, but looks like it'll be Kylie Lewandowski who will be on deck in place of Robeson. We saw Lewandowski back in game number 1 of the doubleheader come in relief of Robeson at second base. And now we are set to go. First pitch from Beaubien in the top of the 7th. Misses low and outside. Fisk showed bunt early. Beaubien takes her time, looks over to the dugout, and now will settle in. The wind up on 1-0. This one hit on the ground, but it's going to go foul and make its way over towards the Michigan dugout. One count here. Megan Beaubien in a good position has been able to do pretty much whatever she's wanted against Fisk so far today. Beaubien settled in for the 1-1, and then Carson quickly called time. We'll go have a quick little chat. Clock just ticking past 8 o'clock now. 4 hours since the start of game number 1. Beaubien settling in. 1-1 pitch on the way to Alex Fisk. Again, missing low and outside. It'll be a 2-1 count for Fisk when she steps back in. Seven, 8, 9 due up for Kent State. For Michigan, it'll be 6, 7, 8 if they're needed. The 2-1, a changeup, goes up by the eyes of Fisk. Beaubien lost that one a little bit, and now it'll be a 3-1 hitters count for Fisk. The Golden Flashes need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. Beaubien's 3-1 pitch, right at the knees, called strike 2. Fisk now with a full count, way up near the front of the box. The payoff pitch from Beaubien. Swung on, hit deep towards right field, and that one's way back over the wall as a solo home run ties this one up in the top of the 7th. Beaubien left that one a little bit over the front of the plate, and Fisk made her pay. We're tied up at 3, in the top of the 7th. And we're going to have a pitching change. It's going to be Alex Storako to come in relief of Megan Beaubien as she gives up her first hit of the ball game on a solo home run to Fisk. We saw Alex Storako dominate back in the first game, 13 strikeouts, as she just diced up the Golden Flashes hitters. And she'll look to do that again here in the top of the 7th inning. So now with this game tied, we will see the Michigan lineup at least one more time. Again, it'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for Michigan. Taylor Bump, Sierra Kirsten, and Audrey LeClaire, the first 3 Wolverines. So with no runners on, Megan Beaubien's day is officially done. 6th inning pitched, gave up 1 hit and 1 run on that 1 hit and 3 runs. The last of which coming on that solo home run. Also 9 strikeouts, so very good day overall with a disappointing end for Megan Beaubien, but Storako will look to take over. So fresh pitcher and fresh hitter in Lewandowski as she steps in to pinch hit. First pitch from Storako. Just missing inside, ball number 1. That one looked about as good as they come. Deep breath from Storako now. Will deliver on 1-0. That one again missing inside. Count 2-0. Hitter's count for Kylie Lewandowski when she steps back in. Kiki Thole playing up in front of first base. Taylor Bump a few steps in as well. 2-0 count high and outside. It'll be 3 straight balls from Alex Storako. I'd be very surprised if I saw Lewandowski swing the bat here. Kent State dugout getting loud. 3-0 pitch from Storako swung on and missed. Lewandowski might have been heading down to first base had she let that one go. The Golden Flash is getting loud in the dugout. 3-1 pitch from Storako. This one swung on and missed again. Storako goes right back to it. Now the count evened out full. No outs, no runners on. Storako's full count pitch popped up. It goes foul, but Taylor Bump with plenty of time to get over and under it. And there's out number 1. So nice job by Storako, just stepping in and taking care of business right away. That'll bring up the catcher Young. Jalen Young 0 for 1 in this ballgame. Had a sack bunt back in the 3rd inning. Struck out looking to Megan Beaubien back in the 5th. Storako's first pitch blows by her. And now Young down 0-1. Deep breath from Alex Storako. The 0-1 pitch with 1 out. Catching the knees for strike number 2. It's the top of the order, and Whitmore over on deck. 0-2 count for Alex Storako. Spinning that ball in the right hand. Now the delivery. This one popped up. It'll go foul, covering a lot of ground to get over to it is McVeigh and making the play. So Storako now has sat down the first 2 she's seen, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Whitmore. The last chance to put some more on before Michigan gets to go out on the offensive attack. Whitmore lining up the bat. First pitch from Storako, just missing wide for ball number 1. Corners playing well up now as well as the rest of the infield. Outfield in a couple steps as well, with the wind blowing backwards over their heads. 1-0 pitch hit on the ground, and it's going to go foul. Rolling all the way down in the right field corner. Looks like they're having to cover a good deal of distance to get over to it. Nothing more than a long strike, though. The count 1-1, 2 outs. Nobody on. Storako looking to bring her team back in on offense. The 1-1 pitch pokes at a bunt and comes up empty. Now a 1-2 count for Whitmore. The pitch swung on, popped up foul. So just realized there was a little mishap in the score bug. I apologize for that. The score still sits 3-3 here in the top of the 7th inning. Sirocco taking her time. She's got all the advantage. The 1-2 pitch fouled backwards into the net. We're going to do it again. One-two count to Alexandria Whitmore, the leadoff batter, when she steps back in. Struck out her last time up. Looking to flip the script here. 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch from Sirocco popped up. Going foul, covering a lot of ground, and get over to it is McVeigh, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Kent State puts 1 up off the solo shot from Fisk, but the Wolverines only need 1 of their own. 6, 7, 8. Taylor Bump, Sierra Kirsten, and Audrey LeClaire are due up for Michigan. After that, it'll be Ella McVeigh and Lexi Blair at the top of the order if they're needed. It'll be Andrea Scowley to take the circle once again. She's been pretty excellent so far in this one. Michigan has their quick huddle in front of their dugout. Again, they only need 1. We're tied at 3 here as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bump 1 for 2 in this one. Flew out to right field their first time up in the 2nd. Had that hard line drive single up the middle back in the 5th. The throw down from Young, and we are just about set to go. The wind picking up again, blowing out towards right field, where practically every homer has gone today besides the solo shot to dead center from Kiki Thole. Taylor Bump and Sierra Kirsten do a quick few jumping jacks to stay loose, as there's a long mound meeting between Young and Scowley. And this is it, bottom of the 7th inning. Michigan only needs 1 to win. Up steps Taylor Bump. You know she's got the power for the long ball. She'll have a fresh count as Scowley is going to look to hold Michigan scoreless for the 2nd straight inning. She's been able to do it 4 times today. Can she make it a 5th? First pitch on the way to Taylor Bump. Swung and hit deep towards left field. This one staying a little bit in as it dies to the wind, and that's going to be a play made by Raymer. Bump got a little bit under that, made some solid contact, but the wind blew it back in towards the infield. That's 1 up and 1 down on just 1 pitch off the hand of Scowley. That'll bring up Sierra Kirsten. First pitch her way, change up on the outside half is no good. Kirsten into pinch hit for Kaylee Rodriguez. One 0 pitch to Kirsten is fouled backwards into the net, so it'll be 1-1 now with 1 out. Again, no runners on. Audrey LeClaire over on deck. Scowley taking her time, getting her signs. Now here's the pitch to Kirsten. Swung on, fouled hard into the ground, right back at Young, and now a 1-2 count. Scowley out ahead. Kirsten at the disadvantage here. The 1-2 well above her head for ball number 2. Sierra Kirsten, the sophomore from Clarkston, Michigan, looking to put her team ahead and edge out the Golden Flashes here. 2-2 pitch. Hit on a soft line. It's going to go foul. We're going to do that 2-2 count again. Scowley takes her time, licks the fingers. As you can see the breath coming off of both Scowley and Kirsten. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Well outside for ball number 3. It's a full count for Kirsten. Full count, 1 out, nobody on. Again, Michigan just needs 1 here. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Full count pitch is popped up. This one will stay in play. Calling off the third baseman is Whitmore, and she makes the play. So now 2 up and 2 down. As Scowley will have to face Audrey LeClaire. The junior LeClaire steps up. Ella McVeigh, the freshman, on deck if she's needed. First pitch on the way to LeClaire. This one hit hard up the middle. Whitmore is going to have a tough play. Nice clean scoop, and she throws it over to first, but it pops out of the glove of wing. A lucky break there for Michigan. And now the winning run is on base. That'll bring up the freshman Ella McVeigh. McVeigh with a chance to push her team across. Audrey LeClaire with plenty of speed at first base. Kent State going to have to be airtight on the defensive end. First pitch to McVeigh. Swung on and missed. Got her to chase high and outside. The senior Lexi Blair over on deck. Scowley checks the wristband, now delivers the 0-1. Fouled off, and now McVeigh down in an 0-2 hole. Quick timeout is called as McVeigh goes over to have a quick word with Coach Carol Hutchins at third base. Oh, 2 count here for Ella McVeigh. Andrea Scowley looking to keep this runner stranded on first base in LeClaire. Lexi Blair over on deck if she's needed. The 0-2 pitch to McVeigh. Popped up foul. We'll do it again. McVeigh grounded out to shortstop her last time up in the 3rd inning. The 0-2 on the way. Missing the outside corner. Runner goes. LeClaire gets to second base cleanly. There was some contact between her and Whitmore, the shortstop. Time is called. She'll wipe herself off, and now McVeigh in an even better position than he was before. 1-2 count, 2 outs, but now the runner in scoring position. If it wasn't important before, it definitely is now. Kent State needs to be airtight on the defensive end. The pitch to McVeigh. Swung on and popped foul again. If you're Scowley, you want to keep things off the dirt. A drop third strike could be devastating as McVeigh has the wheels to leg it out to first. Deep breath from Scowley again. LeClaire on second base. The 1-2 pitch to McVeigh. Popped up foul. The freshman Ella McVeigh refusing to go down without a fight. Scoreboard refusing to tick over. We're locked at 3. 1-2 count again. 2 outs. Runner on second base. It's Audrey LeClaire. Scowley's pitch to McVeigh. Missing outside for ball number 2. Great discipline there by McVeigh. You could see she wanted that one, but laid off. The count advances to 2-2. The senior Lexi Blair still looking on from on deck. 2-2 pitch to McVeigh. Hit on the ground. It's going to get through the infield. LeClaire rounding third. Play at the plate. Not in time. And Michigan wins it in the bottom of the 7th. A walk-off single from Ella McVeigh, the freshman. And Michigan comes out on top. What an at-bat from Ella McVeigh. She was down 1-2 for a vast majority of it. Continued to battle, fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. And in the end, it pays off. Knocks one through the infield, and the Wolverines take both. Final score, 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Michigan now on the season 3-0 against the Kent State Golden Flashes, and now Michigan has won 10 of their last 12. The huge 2-run shot from Lauren Essman put Michigan at 3, which is what they needed. Kent State tied it up on the solo shot from Fisk, and then the freshman Ella McVeigh able to knock one through the infield and score the runner LeClaire from second. An impressive team win as they battled back, and Michigan will look to continue their perfect streak against Kent State coming up on this Sunday. But for that, it has been a long one today. Game number 1 started at 4 o'clock. It now ticks over to 8:23, 4 hours and 23 minutes later. Michigan has 2 wins here at Alumni Field. Again, in an all-around impressive play, the Michigan offensive leaders, as they pop up on the screen, Lauren Essman, 1-for-1 with that 2-run home run, and Ella McVeigh delivering big time when she was needed most in the bottom of the 7th inning on the RBI single that scored Audrey LeClaire. But with that, that is going to do it for WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here from Alumni Field today. My name is Charlie Brigham. It was a pleasure bringing you all of our coverage. We will have another crew here on Sunday, but make sure to tune in also Saturday morning, as Michigan hockey will be playing. We'll have a crew there as well. Again, my name is Charlie Brigham. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to leave you like we always do with a good night and a go blue.